Marco Rubio went in swinging, but when Elizabeth Warren read one email, everything just stopped. He came to fight. She came with facts, and the crowd knew the difference. Marco Rubio stepped up like he owned the room. Senator Warren's idea of economic growth is to punish success and hand out guilt. He smiled, just enough to sting. She talks about fairness. What she really means is more taxes, more rules, and more Washington in your wallet. The audience split, half clapped, half stayed still. Rubio turned toward Warren. You've built your brand on attacking big business, but you never tell people what comes next after you kill the engine of the economy. Warren said nothing. She sat with a folder in front of her, closed, neatly centered, untouched. Rubio leaned into his podium. Senator, I hope you brought more than slogans tonight, because real Americans don't need lectures. They need jobs. He stepped back, arms crossed, waiting. The moderator glanced toward Warren. She didn't move. No eye roll, no comeback. Just a glance at Rubio. Then down at the folder. The crowd waited. So did Rubio. But Warren stayed silent. All right, your turn. Is Rubio speaking hard truths or throwing empty punches? Comment below. This one's gonna divide folks. Warren finally looked up. Senator Rubio wants to talk about jobs. Let's talk about the jobs people can't afford to take. She opened the folder, pulled out a chart, held it up without a word. The screen behind her lit up. Average American credit card debt, 2023. $9,090, 17.8%. APR. Warren's voice stayed calm, almost cold. That's not some radical talking point. That's reality. She placed the chart flat on the desk. You defend the banks that charge 29% at interest, but you call student loan relief a handout. A few heads nodded in the crowd. Rubio's smile dimmed just slightly. You talk about success like it's freedom, but for millions of people, success is just survival, on borrowed time. The moderator glanced between them. Rubio leaned forward. This is America. We don't guarantee comfort. We guarantee opportunity. Warren responded without missing a beat. Opportunity means nothing if the price of entry is lifelong debt. What do you think? Is Warren fighting for fairness or fighting against freedom? Drop your take in the comments. We know this one's gonna spark some heat. Rubio didn't wait. You love throwing numbers, Elizabeth, but all I hear is emotion dressed up as policy. He pointed to the screen. That debt? It didn't come from thin air. People chose it. And in America, choice is a responsibility, not a burden. Some claps. Others looked unsure. You want to erase consequences and call it compassion. That's not fairness. That's dependency. Warren calmly reached back into her folder. Senator Rubio, I expected that answer. She held up a document. The screen changed. Internal email, major bank lobbyist, 2022. Maintain aggressive APR on working class cards. Legislative risk minimal. Rubio solid on resistance. Gasps. Rubio blinked. Warren didn't even turn to him. You say people choose debt, but this email proves your friends chose it for them. Rubio started to speak, then stopped. Warren looked at the crowd. This isn't about punishing success. It's about punishing exploitation and stopping it. So here's the line. Is Warren finally pulling back the curtain or just playing politics with emails? Comment what you think. Was that email a game changer or just strategy? Rubio leaned into his mic. That email doesn't mean anything. I've never taken a dime from those banks. Warren didn't raise her voice. Maybe not directly, but let's rewind the tape. She nodded to the moderator. The screen flickered, then played a clip. Marco Rubio, Finance Committee Hearing, 2021. High-interest lending, while unfortunate, remains a necessary part of free market fluidity. Gasps. Rubio froze. The moderator tried to move on, but the crowd was now fully focused. Warren closed the folder gently. You talk about freedom, but that freedom seems to end where donor money begins. Rubio stayed quiet. She looked out at the audience. Let me be clear. This isn't about left or right. It's about whether your paycheck decides if you sleep peacefully or beg for one more extension. She stepped back, and the studio went still. Now it's your call. Was that the moment Rubio lost the room? Or was Warren just better at the game? Drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you saw in that moment. Warren picked up a different folder this time. No stats, no speeches, just a short draft. Look, Marco, you've made some good points tonight about hard work, about resilience. She stepped forward, voice soft but steady. So here's what I'm proposing. A bipartisan cap on consumer APR, 18%, no loopholes. Let's call it what it is, basic financial fairness. She laid the draft on the moderator's desk. You said people deserve opportunity. I agree. But opportunity doesn't grow when interest grows faster than income. The crowd listened. No noise this time. Rubio looked at the folder, didn't move, didn't interrupt. Warren nodded once. You don't have to like me. You don't even have to vote with me. But maybe, just maybe, we can write something people actually remember. Rubio stared at the proposal, still silent, but for the first time all night. He wasn't resisting. Be honest. If you were Rubio, would you sign that bill? Is it a smart move or a political trap? Comment below. This one's got more than one right answer. Rubio finally moved. He walked slowly to the moderator's desk, picked up Warren's draft, didn't open it, just looked at her, nodded once, then left the stage. No press spin, no soundbite, just silence. Warren didn't smile. She didn't wave. She just whispered to the moderator, "That's enough for now." Later that night, Twitter lit up. Did Rubio just agree without speaking? Warren didn't win with volume. She won with receipts. When silence becomes action, that's leadership. In a college economics class in Pennsylvania, a student paused the live stream playback. He didn't say yes, but he didn't say no either. His professor replied, "Sometimes history is written between the words." The final frame of the debate reappeared online with one phrase. What you sign in silence says more than what you shout in anger. Your turn. Was this a real moment of change or just a calculated pause before business as usual? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because in this one, silence is the twist.